Welcome to the Priestess of Motherhood podcast. My name is Dania. I am a clinical naturopath, energetics therapist, and a priestess working my own path. And that often gets a bit messy and it's raw, it's real. This is my motherhood, this is my sacred work. So, this space in this motherhood podcast is a place where we can explore our raw truths together. I can talk about hormonal chaos, our burnout, what's going on in the shadows of our deeper emotions, and help you to reclaim your body, reclaim your desire, reclaim your own personal power. Here, we are here to do this deep, honest work of healing. I'm not about shortcuts. I'm here for the long haul and that longevity of transformation. So, today's session, we are talking about libido. So, more specifically, I want to talk about what's normal, what's healthy, and what we have been told or guided to expect from society. So, let's dive into that. If another woman comes into my clinic and tells me it's just like this when you're a mum, I think I might have a bit of a breakdown because it's not just like this. This isn't a standard that we should expect to just feel burnt out, run down, undesirable. All of these things should not be our normal. Okay, I will not stand for that. And I do not want that for you. I want you to be able to feel really alive in your body. I want you to be really attuned with yourself, your hormones, your cycles, your energy. I want you to be able to feel alive and connected to who you are. And it has become so normalized for mothers to be burnt out, to be overgivers, to just accept the scraps. But fuck no. It is absolute bullshit that that's the standard. And we are after more. So if you're here for that, continue listening. So when I started talking about my business having more of the direction around sex in motherhood and helping women get back into their libido, feeling that desire again, people were like, oh, but honey, it's really hard on mums. When you've got little kids, it's just really difficult to, find the time or the energy for that. And sex drive just disappears after kids, and that's really normal. It's completely normal to just for that not to be a priority right now. It's completely normal that mums are just said, well, you're a mum. That's why, you know? And you know what I say to all of that? Fuck that. Like, because here's what isn't being said that pleasure heals, our orgasms are medicine that we deserve, and desire is a vital sign of our health. And so, what you're really saying when you're dismissing mother's pleasure, mother's intimacy with self, mother's connection to their own bodies is that they don't really matter. And I won't stand for that. So, let me explain why. When we orgasm, our body releases so many different neurochemicals. So, these are powerful as fuck in our body, right? So we've got oxytocin. Oxytocin, that's our love hormone. It's there for our bonding and trust. So it helps bring us into connection. It's going to help reduce your stress levels. It's going to lower your blood pressure, deepens your emotional connection, whether that's with a partner or with yourself. I don't mind how you're orgasming, but please just have one every now and again. It's literally going to calm you and ground you, okay, chemically. Dopamine is another neurochemical that is released, and this is our reward messenger. It's our motivation neurotransmitter. And this post-orgasmic glow comes from dopamine doing its thing. All right. This is going to lift your mood. It's going to give you longevity of energy. And we're also going to be releasing a lot of endorphins. So these are your natural feel-good hormones. They're going to be your natural painkillers, mood boosters, um, PMS relief. This is amazing for premenstrual tension, cramping, reduces anxiety, improves your sleep quality. Amazing for all of that. So, on a hormonal level, post orgasm, our body is working to even balance things like our estrogen and progesterone levels. So, it works in a positive feedback loop to bring our hormonal balance back onto alignment. So, even if your hormones have been out of alignment and it's reducing that feeling of libido, desire, bringing your body back online helps feed positive reinforcement back into that hormonal balance, bringing estrogen and progesterone back into balance, supporting your regulation of mood, sleep, and even your metabolism. It positively reinforces all of the work that you're trying to do. So that's not woo woo. We can't just say sex cures and heals. It's not woo woo. It's science. It's getting your body back online. An orgasm is literally shifting your nervous system from the sympathetic fight or flight to your parasympathetic rest and digest. So, this is going to reset your stress cycle. And that's something that so many women never actually complete their stress cycles. I've got other episodes on closing your stress cycles and how to drop out of that fight or flight negative feedback loop. But yeah, sex is going to drop you out of that and bring you back online. Well, orgasm in particular. So, pleasure is not just some frivolous luxury, it's fuel, it's healing, it's biologically necessary, especially for women who have been stretched thin, depleted, and mothering from an empty tank. We need to get our bodies back online, and this is a beautiful tool to do it. So let's just get some definitions first. Here is where women get confused because sex and libido are not the same thing. So, libido is your desire. So, it's your sense of curiosity. It's this internal flame that is driving you, your openness to being touched, to feeling sensual. It's the energy of attraction, not just to others, but to your life in general. It's that living in pleasure. That's what I'm here for. That's what I just like want to embody, living in that pleasure, because that is your vital sign of health, of well-being. Sex is the act. It's the physical expression of that desire. But you can have sex without having a libido. That's called having sex out of obligation, routine, expectation, whatever it might be. It's just the physicality of it. You can have a libido without having sex. That's called having fantasies, having flirtation, being aroused, even being creative. When you're in your libido, you're in your sex power, your magic of it. And libido is your life force. It's not about how often you're doing it, it's about how often you are connected to your body, to your pleasure, to your ability to feel like you're alive, you're on fire. Okay, so what does normal even mean? What is normal? Women often sit across from me in consults and they'll say, I don't even know if this is normal anymore. I used to be so into it. We used to have sex all the time, but now I just feel numb. And here's the truth. Your libido fluctuates. It changes across your cycle. It'll change across your life stage. It'll change across your stress level, your relationship dynamics. It's going to change with what your kids are doing and how old they are and all of these different things. So when somebody asks what's a normal libido, the only real answer is that it's going to depend on you because you're the only one that can answer whether you feel like you're online. whether you're on fire, whether you feel connected to your body and your energy of sex and connection to desire and pleasure. But if you want to know about frequency, let's talk about some statistics. So I found a study, 2020 study that was published in the Archives of Sexual Behavior. And that has found that the average frequency of sex for long-term couples is about 54 times a year. So that works out to be about once a week. So if you're having sex about once a week, then you're pretty average for what most long-term couples are doing. Keeping in mind, around 26% of couples report having sex once a month or less. So if that's you as well, then you're not alone with that either. Okay. So you don't have to be swinging from the chandeliers or pulling your partner into a closet every minute you get to be having a good healthy libido. That's not what we're asking. We're asking do you want more? Do you want less? You're allowed to want whatever you want. You're allowed to want things that are different from average. You're allowed to want whatever feels right for you. So what matters the most isn't the frequency, it's the amount of connection that you feel. So, and that's connection not just to a partner, but it's about connection to yourself, to your body, connection to your own desires, connection to safety and space. So the real questions that I think need to come to the surface here is, well, do you feel seen? Do you feel safe? Do you want more? Do you want sex? Do you want it again? This is a big question that comes up when I'm talking about libido is, well, do you actually want to have sex? And I'll say, oh, my partner wants it way more than me. Um, so I need to fix my libido. Okay. But do you want it? Do you want it more? And then it might come out that there's some underlying things going on, that maybe there's pain, maybe there's fatigue, maybe there's deeper nourishment needed because she just doesn't want to be touched. She just wants to lay there and give it and let him have his fill and be done. But that's not connection. But do you want it again? Do you want to feel that desire? Do you want to feel that pleasure again? Oh, that would be nice, but is that really possible for me? Yes, we can. If it's something that you want, then we can definitely unlock that again for you. We can definitely pull that back out and pull back the layers and see what's really going on deeper. Because there's so many interplaying factors, physiologically, energetically, emotionally, that we can take into consideration here. But the first thing that we want to establish is, do you actually want it? So what is a healthy libido? What I see as a healthy libido, remembering this is very nuanced and very personal, but what I see a healthy libido is one that feels alive, even if it's just this quiet hum under the surface. It feels alive to you. You feel in connection with it. You feel it feels safe to express. Even if you're not acting on it, even if you're just you and yourself, but you feel safe to feel these feelings. Because if you're not feeling safe to feel desire, attraction, pleasure, then we need to do some deeper work. Is your libido cyclical? Does it move? Does it change? Does it fluctuate with your cycle? That's completely healthy. Is it intuitive? Do you get that intuitive pull within your body of when to lean in and when to draw back when your body needs space? Or do you push past your own walls of what feels right for you and where you're at in that moment? Is it responsive to your life and your environment of what's going on for you in your day to day? A healthier libido allows for no and yes, both with equal freedom to say yes or to say no. You're allowed to move in and out. A healthy libido feels like coming home to self and being really, really present with yourself and everything that you want. It's not performance and it's not about pleasing others without pleasing yourself, like pushing past those boundaries to only give to one another and not feel anything from that. Sometimes a healthy libido is about grieving parts of yourself that you have lost after motherhood. So maybe you've got that libido within you that wants to be touched, wants to be desired, wants to be wanted, and you are slowly inviting her back into your life without shame. This was a big thing for me in my story. So feeling really unsure how to go about being wanted, being desired in my new role as mother was a big, energetic, emotional shift to overcome in my early motherhood. Not knowing who I was anymore was a big identity shift. So coming to terms with different parts of self and allowing it all to coexist. Interesting shifts that happen. So what are some questions that I might ask you if you came to me for a consult and you were concerned about having a low libido or you wanted to increase it? Some questions that I might gently ask would be, well, how are you feeling in your body right now? When was the last time you felt really turned on? It doesn't have to be sexually, but turned on by life, turned on by yourself and your own ideas or your own body or your own personality. Do you turn yourself on? What kind of touch feels safe or soothing or welcome to you? What are you ready for? Do you have stories around sex or motherhood that you're carrying from childhood? Maybe from religion or society or past relationships that you want to unpack or explore? How does your relationship feel emotionally? Do you feel seen? Do you feel respected? And what's one tiny, really doable pleasure that you can invite into your day to day? It could be just working with some body oil, a massage that you give yourself into your thighs, into your breasts, your belly. So if you're listening to this and thinking, shit, that's me, like I need to look into this, or I didn't really realize how much I've been ignoring my own needs, then let this be your invitation. Okay, you're not some frigid, boring person now just because you're a mum. You're not too far gone. Your libido, it's not gone missing, you know. She's waiting. She's waiting for you to have space. She's waiting for you to have nourishment. And she's waiting for permission to be felt again. She's waiting to feel safe. If this is speaking to your soul, you don't have to be alone on this. I would be honored for you to come and walk this path with me. The first step would be come and join me at the Pleasure Path. This is a free teaching circle where we have an online Zoom class at the end of the month, and I will talk you through the different elements to a libido and how we rebuild it physiologically, emotionally, and energetically. And if you are wanting more, then I can invite you deeper to work with me in one-on-one. Initial consults are first step for that. But until then, be fierce, be wild, be utterly you. I absolutely love you. Thank you for being here and listening. If you would like any more information, you can find all of the show notes for this episode on daniafoster.com. All of the show notes will be in the notes. If you want any more details, please get in contact. Come and like and share this podcast episode. Share it with a friend. Jump over to Instagram and let me know what you think. Lots of love to you. Goodbye.